Hey folks, everything new under the sun. This is a big deal. The Russian Duma passed draft laws, so conscription laws for Russia. They are getting ready for war. Now, I just did a video yesterday about China getting ready for war. And there's a whole video that Kyle Bass went through. I'd love to be able to spend the time and kind of take snips out of that with what he said, all the evidence, economically and otherwise, that really went to prove that China is getting on a war footing and getting ready to deal with U.S. sanctions. But now we have Russia's significant information coming out. And who's the target? Poland. Now, wasn't Poland one of the big one of the nations that really caused the West, the United States, to get into a world war in prior years? You can let me know in the comments about that. But I'm pretty sure Poland was a significant nation that the Americans, the Canadians had to basically help out. All right, war is just around the corner. It says general conscription, and they're raising the age limits. It says the Russian Duma has passed a special package of amendments that lay the groundwork for general conscription as a big war is around the corner. This was said to by the head of Defense Committee of the State Duma of the Russian Federation, Andrei Katapolov, during a speech to its members. It says the State Duma has approved a bill to raise the upper age limit for military from 27 to 30. So they must do calculations and figure out, if we raise the age of conscription from 27 to 30, that'll probably give us 100,000 more, eligible soldiers, or 500,000, whatever it may be. But look at the date there, January 1st, 2024. So this is coming into effect pretty quickly. This may be as quick as they can go, outside of being in an all-out emergency. But that means they're getting ready for this, and that doesn't mean the war isn't going to start until January 1st or sometime after that. If the war starts, at the end of the summer, for example, then that would be around the time when they would need to start calling up extra recruits and starting to get them trained, and they would need those extra numbers, just as there has been a general draft in Ukraine, and they've been expanding the age. I think it's up to, if I recall, people, 50s and 60s were even involved in the war in Ukraine, and they're running out of people fast. But now we can see that Russia indeed is kind of getting ready for full mobilization. From January 1st, 2024, citizens aged 18 to 30 will be called up for military service. Citizens who turn 27 by the end of 2023 remain in reserve and will not be drafted in 2024. The draft significantly expands possibilities of military commissions in the choice of methods of service, of call-up notices, even introducing the notification nature of the call-up notices. So check out this. In addition, a Russian citizen is considered to have been notified of the need to appear at the military registration and conscription office immediately after corresponding registration is published in a special electronic register. So I expect, and it's right here. I can't copy it because it'll put the thing over it. This is War News 247. Well, I guess it's letting me now. But apparently they have some electronic register, probably by way of cell phone. And if you get the text message or the whatever it may be, in terms of this electric register they're referring to, you have to go to the conscription office immediately and sign up. If you dodge this, I've heard comments about soldiers being placed in deep pits and behind bars if they refuse military service in Ukraine. It says at the same time, measures are being increased for soldiers who do not appear at the military office from the day after service notification of the summons. So you have to get there within 24 hours. Military commissioners transmit data on the citizen subject to conscription to local agencies of the Ministry of Internal Affairs and FSB. and a ban on leaving the country and other restrictions. So if you attempt to get out of the country, you get a flight or something, or a train ticket, they're not going to let you. There is a ban on that. They will check you at the border. The border services will stop you and turn you around, and you have to go to the conscription office. So this is really serious in Russia. You don't have a choice anymore, folks. It is not a free nation. It was never a free nation. Well, maybe it was at some point, but certainly in the recent history, it has not been a free nation by any stretch, and we're seeing that now. It says, we are preparing for a general conscription for a great war, and this could be the war to end all wars, not World War II. One of the auditors of the amendments, the head of the State Duma, during today's meeting explained to the deputies why the Parliament is considering the new amendments. First of all, order will be brought to the military registration system thanks to the use of modern electronic services. Physical interaction between citizens and employees of the military registration and conscription offices will be minimized. So they will be going digital. No longer will you be talking to somebody, filling out papers. You will get a notification on your cell phone, on your device. You'll get an email, whatever it is, saying you come in. And if you don't, you will be red flagged. You will be not able to leave the country. This law was written for a great war, for general conscription. And this great war smells already, it says. And who are they going after? Well, they suggest that it's going to be Poland, because Poland, if they head into war with Poland, and Poland is the one that is really pushing NATO into it, and kind of being the first on the border with troops and mercenaries, and staging areas for equipment and delivery of equipment to Ukraine. So Poland is kind of the next one to fall, and if they fall, that will draw NATO in 100%. And so Russia sees really Poland as kind of the next country that they will have to go to war with, before all-out war with NATO. It says they are sensitive because the law was written for great war, for general conscription, and now this great war is already smelling, and we all keep looking for who can get out of there. And it says, let me go like this. Who we can protect. Yes, there will be someone. There always will be. I understand, he says. So that's the only news I have, folks. General conscription in the State Duma in Russia. Russia has been preparing for war, and these are more actual signs that their laws are being changed. Kind of like emergency measures laws in Canada during the trucker convoy that the government can implement in the case of an emergency. And once they have that implemented, there are no laws that the citizens can do anything about anymore. It's basically all the power is given to the government for whatever purpose they deem necessary. And this is what's happening in Russia right now. In China as well. Again, check out the last video. Check out the Kyle Bass video that I linked on the community page. This is it, folks. This is, if you ever were looking for, hard evidence that they are getting ready for World War III, this is it. They're getting ready for NATO. If it was just Ukraine they were battling, there would be no need for a call-up like this. There would be no need to increase the age of the conscription. They have enough people to fight the war, and they're winning the war in Ukraine. But if they go to war against NATO, they will need these new laws in place and greater government power to prevent people from dodging the draft dodging. And so, folks, get ready to start seeing laws about this in North America, in Britain, as we get closer to World War III. And this could flare up any time. Note that there's all sorts of trouble happening with the Biden administration, fraud, money laundering. As these things ramp up, and as economic troubles ramp up, again with this news that India is banning exports of rice, global famine, global economic collapse is coming. And as these things ramp up, they will take us to war even more, because war is what gets us out of economic collapse, and war is also what distracts the citizenry and keeps the citizenry calm and keeps the government in control. Because as long as the population is focused and distracted by World War III, they will not go after their government. There will not be civil unrest, or that's what the government hopes anyways. So folks, even in Canada here, look for more government rules, more government lockdowns. I will be banned likely from YouTube for saying these sorts of things. I already have 2 strikes on my account. If a third happens, before I think July, I think maybe tomorrow is when this one of my 2 strikes comes off. If a third strike happens, I'm done for. My channel's done for. We are being censored, and even RFK, the Democratic candidate for president, he even sat before a U.S. Committee and came out and said, censorship is the beginning of a totalitarian government. This is a Democratic candidate for U.S. president, and he is calling and blaring the alarm about censorship. And this is what governments do when they're starting to fail, when they're starting to lose control of society, and when we're heading into economic collapse and World War III. Look, they have the intelligence. They have the smartest people reporting to them, telling them what could be occurring at any time now. And economic collapse is one of those real fears of the people in control. And so when all else fails, they take you to war because it's going to distract us all. Not one of us will be complaining about lack of food, lack of income, etc. when World War III starts, because we'll all be patriots, right? We'll all be standing with the country, going to war against the evil Russia, the evil China, whomever the boogeyman is at that point in time. So be prepared, folks. Eyes wide open going into this. Thanks for watching. Be prepared. I hope you know the Lord Jesus Christ is your personal Lord and Savior. Times are going to get real scary, real fast. I don't know how much time we have left, but it's coming to a head. And things are really getting crazy in the world. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.